The show starts off with a group of mages fighting against a not-so-well-drawn dragon in a fantasy world. The group is quickly overwhelmed thanks to the mighty power of the great beast. Meanwhile, a young farmer, Al, is taking care of his gardens and plucking some veggies so he can sell them in the market. He is informed by the system about his farming skill reaching level 10, and he is amazed that it reached there so quickly. His friend Testa arrives, and he is equally surprised at this. He comments how his fisherman skill reached level 10 the other day, even though he never was one, though Al believes that it is because he helped him. The other is still skeptical of this because he's been a fisherman for a while and even he hasn't reached that level yet. Furthermore, his attack power has taken quite a jump, and when Testa points it out, the other tells him that he has more important stuff to do, like transferring the goods. He heads off to the royal capital of Magus Kingdom, and on his way, he spots a group of adventurers fighting a dragon. He feels that he should help and throws the carrot at the dragon to distract them and let the others escape. However, in a surprising turn of events, the carrot actually smashes the dragon and destroys it. The adventurers are surprised that someone so strong is nearby, but by the time they try fighting him, the other has long vanished. As he arrives at the city, a criminal kidnaps someone of royal status and is getting away. Al manages to sneak in and saves the girl. The criminal is enraged at this and tries fighting him, but Al proves to be too much for him and he is eventually defeated. The girl thanks Al for his assistance and asks for his name. However, the other doesn't have time to chat idly since he has business to do and heads off. After doing his business, he gets ready to leave the city, but the guards stop him. He doesn't have any idea what is happening, and the girl explains that she just wants to talk to him. Phallus reveals herself as the royal princess and offers him to work at the palace. Al is shocked that he acted rudely with a royal member, though he declines her offer since he cares more about farming and doesn't want to get caught in royal affairs. The other insists that he accept her request since the salary is nice and even offers land near the palace where he could work. When he asks about her persistence, she explains that because he is strong, she wants someone like him to work there. She begins explaining how a power ranking works within the kingdom, and the other adventurers arrive just then. They inform her that someone else took care of the dragon, and all they could find were traces of the wagon. Phallus realizes that it is probably Al, but by the time she turns to him, he has already escaped. Afterward, Officer Cecil informs the king about the invasion of demons as they are heading for the city and instructs him to act soon. The king doesn't understand why the demons would attack since this is a peace pact between the two, but Cecil informs him that the demons were always preparing for an attack because their general Romeo held a grudge against humanity. Now that a human isn't capable of killing a demon lord, Cecil believes that the demons are at an advantage. He instructs the king to get someplace safe. The king disagrees and wants to fight by his soldiers' side, but when his subordinates insist that he leaves in order for them to survive. Al reaches his home, and thanks to his tremendous power, he accidentally destroys the doorknob. As he is sitting in his room, Testa knocks on his door and informs him about the invasion of the enemies. Even at this time, he is more concerned about his harvest and quickly heads over to the farm to check on them. He is glad that the enemies haven't stormed there, but finds them marching to the castle. He initially doesn't want to interfere, but after realizing that his business will be stopped, he decides to act. Cecil takes the king and Phallus someplace safe and reveals his intentions of killing. All this time, he was Romeo himself, who had plotted to destroy humanity to avenge the late Demon King. After he transforms, he strikes at the king once more, but with the help of Phallus, the king manages to hold his own and defend the attack. Suddenly, as he is about to strike his ultimate attack, Al arrives and stops him. The other doesn't believe that someone could stop his attacks and inquires about his identity. Romeo is shocked to learn that his opponent is a simple farmer and continues his attack. However, Al proves way too much for him, and as he transforms into his true form, Al smashes him into a mountain, knocking him out. The other demons quickly run after seeing this, and peace returns to the kingdom once more. At the palace, the king offers him a post in the military, but he declines since he loves gardening. Phallus understands this and gives him the land, which he could use to harvest various stuff, though he is also instructed to join a guild since it will help them keep connected with him. The following day, Phallus and Al wander around town checking out various cuisines. Al notices that she hasn't visited the palace back and questions whether she has any duties. Phallus assures him that she instructed her maid to work in her place and she is using her as her body double. The two arrive at the guild, though Al is still skeptical about joining it since it may take him away from his farming life. After heading in there, the manager already recognizes him. Surprisingly, they don't recognize Phallus. Before he can register, the receptionist, Helen, offers him a meal since he is hungry, and once he registers, she offers him her robe as a gift for him on heading out on his first job. He doesn't want to stand out, so he declines, but the other tells him that she has literally no other use for it, and it would be a way of helping her out. Al can't argue with her logic and accepts the gift. Helen explains the adventure ranking to him and assigns him to a quest. Al heads to find herbs, and after he has just one left to find, he stumbles upon a mysterious black scale. Since he is so curious, he begins to look around and realizes that the orcs might be living here. After checking the note for instructions, he is shocked to find that the female orcs are enchanted by men and attack them. Just then, one of them manifests behind him, and luckily, Jack, the adventurer from before, helps him out. Soon, the other two also arrive. However, before they can exit the forest, they start feeling an immense aura, and suddenly an incredibly powerful black dragon appears before them. The four of them are frozen on the spot, while the dragon ignores them. Al tries to check its stats, but it's stunned to find them so high. Meanwhile, Helen wakes up from a nightmare and realizes that she slept in her work outfit. At the guild, her adoptive mother, Wanreen, notices that she isn't doing well and advises that she take some rest. Though the other assures her that she is fine and can keep going. Al returns from his mission and informs them about the black dragon. After going through all the explanations, the guild owner informs him that it is probably the malevolent dragon Ouroboros, though the dragon is supposed to be long dead. After hearing the name, Helen's tragic memory of her brother being caught and devoured by the dragon resurfaces, and she passes out. Afterward, Wanreen informs Al that she and her husband found her around 15 years ago, and since she didn't have a relative or any memory of the prior events, they took her in. To make sure he is of help to her, he heads to the library to find out more about the events that took place 15 years ago and find that the dragon did surface there. Though only people of higher status are allowed into the section of the library where they can read the damage reports. Fortunately for Al, Phallus arrives just in time and he is permitted to continue his research. They are shocked to learn that Ouroboros manifested 15 years ago and destroyed an entire town. The two visit the said town and Al meets with the deceased soul of Rai, Helen's brother. Rai's ghost cannot be seen by everyone, and when Al gives it a little thought, he realizes that the only reason he can see the other is that he is wearing his magical robe. After Phallus confirms this, he tells them of a past when the village was peaceful. One day, while he got hurt, his elder sister, Helen, tended to him, and as they were about to head back to their home, a terror befell their village. Monstrosity strikes with flames all over, and eventually all the people are killed. The two try to run away deep into the forest, but the dragon eventually finds them. And as he is about to kill them, Rai swears that he will protect his sister even after he dies. And seeing his persistence, the dragon informs them that he will spare Helen for now. And once she tells others of these rumors, creating more chaos, he will finally kill her after 15 years. In the present, Rai instructs Al to help his sister and make sure she doesn't leave her room. Al doesn't feel that he is strong enough to face off against the enemy, but since Ouroboros is threatening the city of Magus, he resolves to protect it and stop the enemy at whatever cost. He and Phallus head back to the city to plan a retaliation against the enemy. At the guild, Reen visits her room to check up on her, but she doesn't find anyone there because she has already left. As she reaches the forest, Ouroboros manifests before her, and she resolves to kill herself. Before she could stab herself, Al arrived just in time to stop her. The dragon and Al face off in combat, and Al is able to get an advantage against him. Since Al is strong defensively, the other switches to magic and strikes with flames. Al is able to defend himself and punches him. He takes Helen to escape and thinks of a solution to defeat their enemy. As they reach a certain point, Al realizes that Ouroboros gains power by feeding his enemy with fear. After he convinces Helen of a better future and fills her with hope, Al notices that the other has gotten considerably weaker and uses this chance to obliterate him of existence. As the two are celebrating their victory, Helen stabs him, and his face generates a massive shock, not believing that his friend stabbed him right then and there. Benevolent dragon Mirage appears and informs Al that his friend is being possessed by Ouroboros, and the two think of a solution to kill him once and for all. Since he is injured, Al can't really fight back, so Mirage offers him his power. As he is about to land the finishing blow, Ouroboros tricks him and tries to possess Al. However, after seeing that he has nothing inside his mind but gardens, he realizes that the other is too strong, and it will simply be impossible for him to control his body. The two are repelled back by one another, and Mirage takes this opportunity to get rid of Ouroboros, sacrificing himself in the process. Al wakes up at the guild with Phallus and Helen at his side. Helen reveals that she has inherited some powers from Ouroboros and can use them efficiently to help others. The other adventurers enter his room and tell the owner that they will hold a celebration later that night. Phallus accidentally reveals her identity but quickly covers it up by advising that they should ask the royalty for gifts since their guild managed to fend off a threat. Later that night, they hold a celebration, but Al is thinking more about gardening. The following day, he receives a letter from his parents telling him to return home and spend some time with them. Testa advises that he should give them a visit, while he thinks maybe he should complete a quest or two before going there. As he arrives at Magus City, he spots incredibly healthy veggies, and after inquiring, he realizes that they are from the same village his parents migrated to. After taking permission from Phallus, he heads off to the guild. Helen assures him that she is more than capable of handling the quests, and tells him that he shouldn't worry as she is strong enough with Ouroboros' power. On his way to Lurigus, Al is attacked by an orc once again, and this time an adventurer named Ruri helps him out. She informs him that she is on the way to the same city and asks him to travel together. Al doesn't feel that she should be with him since the journey is more than a day long, and the two will have to camp out, and it wouldn't be appropriate for a guy and a girl who are strangers to hang out together. The other is trustful of him and assures him that she senses no ill feeling from him and is fine with spending a night with him. As the sun sets, the two set up camp, and Al is surprised that the other can hold so much stuff inside her bag. And Ruri explains that she is a descendant of the hero who defeated the Demon King, and thus she inherited the bag from him. Al wants to spend the night outside to protect the other in case a threat arises, but when the other warns him of orcs, he immediately heads inside the camp, and the two sleep side by side. Throughout the night, Al is severely injured due to the other's restlessness, and they eventually reach the city the next day. As they arrive there, Al and Ruri decide to split up, and before they can go their own way, Ruri asks whether they will meet again. Al assures her that he will ask her to be her armed escort so the two can enjoy a journey once more. As they split up, someone informs Ruri of a demon kind lurking in the forest, and she immediately heads there. Al arrives at his parents' house and is greeted by his overly doting mother. Since his dad hasn't seen him for years, he mistakes him for a stranger and demands to know why he is hugging his wife. However, it is a bit costly for him as he is brutally smashed by his wife right after. His overly doting mom, Lucica, continues to worry about him, and even the mere thought of her son having a girlfriend enrages her. What is going on with this family? The following day, Al sets up to get the fertilizers for his farms, and he stumbles upon a man informing him about Ruri fighting inside the forest. As he heads there, he is attacked by a demon, though Ruri arrives at his defense in time, luckily, and the two fend off the enemy. They are soon met by the mastermind. Lokia surprises them with their personal information and informs them that he is here to get rid of both of them, since they may prove difficult to counter in the future. As he summons more demons to keep them engaged, Lokia reveals his intention of fighting Al for enjoyment, since it's been a while since someone as strong as him emerged. While they are fighting, Ruri realizes how much of a help the other has been to her and reminisces about her parents telling her to do her best without having to worry about the other's criticism. She gets inspired by him and decides never to give up in the face of death. After picking up her sword, she stabs Lokia, knowing full well that physical attacks aren't effective against their enemy. She powers up her attack with magic, and this time, she is successful in defeating the enemy. After the fight, the two hear a mysterious voice calling out for Al, and he realizes it is his mom. He quickly takes Ruri away and visits his home. The following day, he gets ready to return to the royal city, and his mother tells him that while he may be kind to others, he should never forget that there are dangerous people out there. It is implied here that Al became a farmer due to a death in the past. Together with Ruri, he sets out on a journey toward the city of Magus. Since Lokia warned Ruri that she would be targeted by demons, Al advises that she informs him in case something dangerous happens, and the other is flustered at hearing this. What does the future hold for the farmer in the magical world? Let us know down in the comments, and I guess we'll find out in the next episodes. And for now, if you enjoyed our recap, drop us a like and subscribe to Annie Recapped to find more awesome animes to watch on your feed. With that said, we'll see you in the next one. Peace!